Hi, everybody. Jonathan Broadbent here. It is 5 o'clock on the nose, Friday, November 10th, and you are watching UnWoke.Academy. Earlier today, I released something that I discovered yesterday. There's been a big push, as we keep talking about, and you're probably aware if you're watching this, there's been a big push in the world of finance and banking to the extreme far left. Banks are canceling people. Something called ESG, which stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance, is pushing its way into pretty much every facet of business, economies, finance, markets, investments, you name it. There's something attached to it. I'm going to throw out a couple of breadcrumbs here. There's something attached to it called CEI, or Corporate Equity Index. That's the tool that big corporation, big multinational conglomerate, billionaire types of entities are using to manipulate companies into doing self-harm. CEI is forcing that environmental, social, and governance, and they're forcing something called diversity, equity, and inclusion. All of these things swirl around, and when you hear the catchphrase, they sound like they might be good, but they're horribly bad. They're undefined, they're opaque, and what they are, and I can prove this, and I do over and over again, is they are an artificial tool used by corporations to artificially control and manipulate markets. So, for instance, if there are a lot of different companies out there that somebody might invest in, like a mutual fund, it's only the preferred selected ones that that check all the boxes for this ESG, DEI, corporate equity index stuff that are allowed in, and those are the only companies that get preferential treatment as far as lines of credit for their corporation, etc. The problem is none of that stuff is really clearly defined. So it is a blunt force tool with which companies and investment managers are bludgeoned. Over the last umpteen months now, we've been talking about how some of these investment managers, things like mutual funds, have gone woke, and we uncover what they actually own inside of the mutual funds. And oftentimes they're things that really pop out, they jump off the page at anybody who's paying attention as the companies that you might want to boycott. You're boycotting them if you are anything other than what I call woke, ultra far left. If you are neutral, middle of the road, and you really just want your investment managers, your financial advisor, to just focus on the essentials of the company and make good choices separate from the politics, then you're like most people. You don't want the politics in your portfolio. Or if you are conservative, the type that believes in pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, First Amendment speech, all those kinds of things, then also you don't want that ESG far left woke stuff in your portfolio. So in order to try and find things that are not woke, opaque, murky, far left, we've been talking a lot about individual stock picking. That's difficult for a lot of people because we've kind of gotten in the habit of having things like mutual funds. And if you invest via an annuity, you have what are called sub accounts. If you are more active in the markets, you might have something called an exchange traded fund, or ETF for short. Those are very similar types of offerings. What they are is managers who make lots of different picks, and they pick stocks and bonds in a portfolio for you. So I continue to track. Sorry, I got distracted there. Uh, all these different individual investments. But I have been having a lot of conversations with money managers, investment companies, investment managers, mutual fund companies, annuity companies. I've been having a year and a half or almost 2 years now of conversations with them, encouraging them to at least broaden their offering. And maybe they have some things that are woke, ESG left, but also offer some things that aren't. major discovery yesterday on a major platform that we use. Trust me, you've heard of this company. It's a big company. They do investment management, they do trading, they work with a lot of different financial advisors all over the country. And they have added a piece in the mutual fund screening tool that allows me to select and pull out those mutual funds that are not ESG. That's that image that I shared with you. I did a screen capture. And so now I can go in there and designate, I want to find non-ESG mutual funds. That I can't overemphasize the glorious beauty of that. So for those people who are interested in that, in the feedback on individual companies, and we've been doing it for a long time now. In fact, we're bringing in the guidance and due diligence of Second Vote. They have a 12-year track record of analyzing on what I call the 6 pillars of freedom. We've been talking a lot about those companies, the good and the bad and the middle of the road. And now we can start to talk at UnWoke about managers that are not woke. That's an exciting major step that just happened yesterday. So that would be November 9th. We made this discovery. I made this discovery. So stay tuned on that. We're going to be talking a lot more about what I call pooled investments. That's a kind of a blanket term for things like mutual funds, exchange traded funds. And for the techies out there, unit investment trusts, collectives, sub-accounts, co-advised funds, all that stuff, all those portfolios that are managed by a professional manager or multi-manager. Pooled investments are starting, just the first glimpse of starting to go UnWoke. Stay tuned for more. And don't miss the next exciting episode. This has been Jonathan Broadbent with UnWoke.Academy.